Imagine a single, colossal machine spanning our entire planet, operating right this very second. It's not science fiction. This represents the most audacious engineering dream in human history. A synchronized power grid connecting London, New York, and Beijing into one single beating heart. But to build it, we must traverse the deepest oceans and navigate through dangerous geopolitical war zones. Why do we need it? The answer lies with the sun. It literally never sets on the entire globe. When Asia sleeps, the Americas wake up. We could theoretically shift excess energy across the world. This is the story of the global supergrid and its staggering multi-trillion-dollar price tag. Welcome to the most complex infrastructure project ever conceived by the human mind. Look at this massive solar farm. It is undeniably impressive, but it has one fatal flaw. At night, its output drops to zero. Batteries remain too expensive to power entire cities. Germany spent billions on renewables, yet they still burn coal when the wind simply stops blowing. We are currently wasting a colossal amount of energy because we cannot move it to where it's needed. The solution is theoretically simple. Physically connect the sunny places to the dark places. Buckminster Fuller proposed this back in 1981. He called it the global energy grid. But back then, technology wasn't ready. Copper wires lost too much power over long distances. Trying to send electricity from Australia to Singapore with standard cables was physically impossible. You would need massive booster stations every few hundred kilometers, which is impossible underwater. But everything has changed. Meet the silent hero of modern engineering, the HVDC cable. High voltage direct current. It acts like a superhighway for electrons without traffic jams. With HVDC, we can now transmit power over thousands of kilometers with incredibly low losses. It allows us to bypass old physical limitations and literally stitch continents together. China is leading this race. They have already built the world's first 1,100 kilovolt line. The Changji-Guquan link stretches 3,000 kilometers, powering 50 million people with one switch. That is roughly the distance from London to Moscow. The engineering scale is truly mind-bending. The West is starting to catch up. Look at the North Sea, where the wind is fierce. The NordLink project connects Germany's wind power with Norway's massive hydroelectric dams. They call Norway the battery of Europe. When Germany has excess wind, they send it to Norway. But the world's most ambitious project is currently on the other side of the globe, Sun Cable. The plan: build the world's largest solar farm in the remote Australian outback and send that power through a 4,200-kilometer subsea cable directly to Singapore. It covers 15% of Singapore's total electricity needs, a project costing 30 billion Australian dollars. However, it faced financial struggles and internal rifts. Building a supergrid is incredibly hard. It's not just money. Let's talk technical challenges. Laying cable underwater is a logistical nightmare. Cable-laying ships must carry thousands of tons of copper and operate with meter-perfect precision. Then there is the X-Links project, connecting the Moroccan desert directly to the United Kingdom. 4 subsea cables running 3,800 kilometers. This is an unprecedented technical risk. But the biggest obstacle isn't the ocean. It is borders, bureaucracy, and politics. Imagine a nation cutting off its neighbor's power supply simply due to a territorial dispute. Energy security is national security. No one wants to depend on others just to turn on the lights. The Baltic grid had to forcefully disconnect from Russia following recent geopolitical tensions. A global supergrid requires absolute trust, a commodity that is in very short supply today. Furthermore, cyber attacks on power grids are a very real and terrifying threat. A single hacker could theoretically paralyze multiple nations if the systems are fully interconnected. Despite risks, engineers aren't quitting. They are researching superconductor technology. Liquid superconductor cables could transmit electricity with absolutely zero energy loss. But they need to be cooled to near absolute zero, an insane engineering challenge to maintain. Some are even looking to the skies. Space-based solar power is back on the table. Collecting energy in orbit and beaming it down to Earth via microwaves. No cables required. The European Space Agency is seriously considering this for their Solaris initiative. Whether subsea cables or space lasers, the goal remains the same: energy synchronization. The economic benefits are undeniable. It could save the world $2 trillion annually. By smoothing out demand peaks, we avoid building redundant backup power plants. More importantly, this is the absolute key to full decarbonization. We simply cannot run the world on green energy without this massive grid. The world's deserts receive more energy in 6 hours than humanity consumes in a year. The supergrid is the only way to unlock that infinite treasure trove. The UK is looking at connecting with Iceland to tap into volcanic geothermal energy. India is pushing the initiative: one sun, one world, one grid. Building the global power grid is like building the internet, but for energy. The internet connected our information. This grid will connect our very survival. It will take decades of work and trillions of dollars in investment. There will be failures, snapped cables, and heated political arguments along the way. But what is the alternative? A divided, polluted, and energy-starved planet. We are standing at the very beginning of an infrastructure revolution. One day, when you switch on a light in New York, that power might come from the Sahara. Earth will no longer be isolated nations, but one unified electrical circuit. This is the global supergrid, and it is being built, meter by meter. What do you think? Will we ever see a truly unified planetary grid? Or will politics keep us in the dark forever? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this, check out our video on the world's longest undersea tunnel right here. Don't forget to subscribe to follow the world's greatest construction projects.